G'day everyone, how you going? Hope you're having a good day today. Welcome to another video. Yeah, I don't know about you people out there that are in the computer industry, but I can tell you now at the moment things are very quiet. It's a bit concerning, but it's all related to this AI boom that's just causing the prices of so many components to go through the roof, and people are just waiting. Basically, they're just not buying computers. I've chatted to a few local suppliers and they're all experiencing the same thing. So yeah, it's definitely a rough time at the moment for the computer industry. I can only hope that soon things will improve, but at the moment it's not looking like anytime soon it's going to get better. So I really feel for everyone out there. Hang in there is all I can say. Hopefully you can survive long enough for this to calm down. We really need that AI bubble to pop before it gets worse. That aside, what we're doing today is a video on a laptop repair. This is a Dell G15 5515 laptop. It's used by a uni student and he's learning architecture, so it needs to be a bit more beefy, and that's why he's gone for a computer that has a bit more grunt. But unfortunately, his screen got damaged, so a lovely crack right in the top left side. So yeah, not very usable right now. I've got the brand new screen has come in. It's in here, in this bag. It's a 120 Hertz IPS screen, so a bit more high end. A little bit more expensive when you get screens like that, but it's not overly expensive. I think the whole repair is going to cost about 259 Australian. First thing we need to do is, of course, turn it off, and then we need to disconnect the battery before we do anything. And usually when I'm in these laptops doing the screen, I always check the cooling system's clean and check the thermal paste and all that. So you kind of get a little bit of a minor service when I do a screen, because I'm just in there anyway. So I try to help people out. Alright, so I will turn this off and we'll change the camera around, and then we'll have a look at opening it up and getting inside to disconnect this battery.
Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3.
Alright, first things first, let's get this back panel unscrewed. Looks like we've got about 8 screws. I'm already seeing some dust on the filter where it takes the air in. So the idea is that the filter is supposed to stop the dust getting in, so hopefully it's doing its job. But if you leave it long enough, it still gets in, and then it fills up the fans and the radiators with dust. It looks like these 4 screws here they only pop up and then they don't fully come out. It's just like a special screw for prying. Alright, now I need to get my trusty guitar pick. Looks like we got a good start on the side here, and that's coming off pretty easy. There we go. Alright, so now that we're in, there's another piece, because this is a Dell, and it's actually very similar to an Alienware laptop, and that makes sense because Dell actually manufactures Alienware. It's their gaming brand, but they've used the same technique here. We've got 2 screws here, which I've already removed. You also have 2 screws on the back, which you have to remove as well. And then this piece just sort of slides off, like so, and reveals that's the actual connector for the screen. We have our wireless cable coming in here, but you'll notice there's heat sinks here. Normally on other laptops, this is where the hinges actually screw into the case, but for this Dell machine, it's very similar to Alienware. They do the mounts on the top, hidden behind that panel, so we actually got to unscrew it from up here, and the cables for the display and the wireless come in through this channel here, so we just got to pop all those up and then unscrew the hinge, and then we can get the screen off. So a little bit more complex. It's partly why I don't really like Dell Alienware products that much, because this is sort of the design they go down, and it looks like they're higher end. Normal Dells are similar, so it's just a little bit harder, and it just makes it harder to fix. That's all it is. It doesn't say anything towards how well they perform, it's just how easy or hard it is to open them up, and I just find Alienware and these sort of Dells are just a bit harder, a bit more complicated.
My brain hurts!
Alright, so let's get these cables first. We've got to detach them on the other side so that we can then unscrew the hinge. So it's just a little bit of tape goes over it, and then you'll see this little handlebar. Right, it's hard to see, but it's just the sticky tape's making it hard. There's a little handlebar there, and you just got to make sure that pops up. Once you've done that, you can just then gently wiggle until it comes out. They have used some tape to hold this into place, so just make sure you release that as well, and there we have that's released. Be really careful with the display cables, because if you damage that, you're going to create a massive headache for yourself, because then you'll need to get another cable and then have to try and replace that as well as the screen, and it's just a nightmare.
Great Scott! I know, this is heavy.
I've only had it happen here and there, but it's bad enough that you don't want it happening, I'm telling you. Alright, so that was easy to pop the wireless off. It's got a bit of tape here, and that goes through there. Because this is loose, I'm just going to slide it out and keep it out all together. So we go on the other side. The display cable runs through this channel, so just pop that around, slowly wiggle it out. Don't reef it, whatever you do. Same with the wireless. The wireless is pretty easy, it's just coming out real smooth. And because the display cable is a bit chunkier, it's not coming out as easy. Alright, we have the display cable and the wireless cable. So screen is now separated from the computer in terms of cables. So what we need to do now is just undo the hinge screws and take the screen off. Because it's on the top, we can just sort of undo these, and we should be able to just lift it up. I like to get the screen in about the easiest position for refitting it later, so I'll just put it in that spot that I want it. As you go to take off the final couple of screws, make sure you hang onto the screen, because it will fall over otherwise. And it should be a case of lift. Yep. And the screen is now free from the base, and yeah, look at all that dirt in there, which you can't get to easily because that's sort of hidden. So we'll give that a good clean later on. The main thing we're trying to do here is get the screen done. The customer's in a bit of a hurry, they want it done today because they need it for uni. So we've got a bit of crud. Actually, I think I'm going to put gloves on.
Things are about to get very icky.
So we're starting to deal with some gunk. So not overly concerned with preserving the screen itself because it's broken and we're just replacing it. But what we are very concerned about is making sure we don't damage the bezel as we get this open, because that needs to stay. So it looks like we've got a little bit of separation going on down here. So go with that. You know, it helps when you turn your filming light on. Alright, so I just ran down here because that was already starting to lift a little. And you can see it's coming up pretty easy. This side looks like it's got the best gap for us to start gently running along. That's actually popping really nicely. Yeah, see how thin that is. You just have to be so careful. You can just easily snap it. I've seen people being rough and they snap it. So just run down that. Yep, that's all just popping up. And then we just run along the top. So the top won't lift like the sides because they usually put some tape here. And be very careful around the camera. I often avoid it. I don't dig very deep there because we don't want to damage the webcam. So this is where it's easy to break something as you're trying to get this tape to let go. It's always the corners that are trickier. So I've got to start on the tape here, so I'm going to run along very carefully. Be very careful around the camera. And boom. Same thing down the bottom. We have tape that usually runs to secure the screen. We've got a good start here, so I can get my pick under there. And it should be a case of gently putting a little bit of pressure and running along to release that tape. I didn't fully get this tape. They usually use a wider tape down here, so it's a little bit harder. Often the screens have this plasticky thing on the bottom, and you can actually accidentally lift up that bit instead of the actual tape. So that's what was happening. We're not worried about that because that's part of the screen and it's all getting ripped out, so we don't need to keep it or worry about it. But just something to be aware of when you're trying to get the bezel off. So the only thing now that's holding the screen in is literally tape, and we've got two little pull out stretchy tape things. I usually need my little tweezers for this bit, just so you can get the end of that tape and pull it up so you can get your fingers on it. And that well, I just showed you firsthand what happens. So you have to be it's supposed to go like this and not do what just happened. Whoop. It just pulls out from behind it and boom, done. And then this will actually be completely free, see? And this one didn't do that, and it's snapped and it's gone inside. Now I'm going to have to struggle to get it out. So you've got to be careful because you've got the cable here. We don't want to damage that in any way. I just don't know how far up that tape has gone. So when this happens, there's not a lot of options other than putting your guitar pick underneath it like that and using like an alcohol, just spray it onto the pick to try and melt the glue so that it'll let go easier. It's a lot more frustrating. The other way is to use like some heat on it, but I don't like using heat because I find it's too easy to go too hot and you melt something you don't want to melt.
I'm melting! Oh, what a world, what a world!
Alright, I can see the tape now. I might be able to grab it. Please. It's not going to work, is it? It's going to be an absolute pain in the bum. No. It is not going to come off without a fight.
Look, are you just fiddling around with me or what?
I just want you to feel you're doing well.
Because the screen's broken, it's not a biggie, but if this was a job where I had to just check the connection for the cable, and you want to preserve the screen, this becomes a bit of a nightmare. But thankfully this is broken, so we don't have to worry about that. And you think the last bit would be easy, but it's just, there we go. Alright, so now we've got the back of the screen. We just need to get this tape that's holding it down off. There we go, clear tape. And same deal as on the base, there's a little handlebar here. There we go, little handlebar. And then just gently wiggle side to side until it pops out. And there you go, the screen is out. And that can go straight in the bin. Oh, okay. This is the other thing I do when I'm working on laptops. I check the hinges. And you can see here, this one was like, it's loose as. So all these screws have come loose. See, this one's like, it doesn't seem too bad. So the left, oh yeah, that's loose. They're all good now. So what we want to do now is install the new one. But as usual, before I tape anything down, I'm going to be making sure it works first. So yeah, here's the new screen, and what we want to do is just pop the cable onto the new one. Make sure your handlebar locks down, and then the tape goes over that. And we can just then let it sit like that. That's what I do, I just sit it. And then we'll go grab our base, and we just want to make sure the screen works, basically, before we get too carried away. So I'm just going to temporarily hook the screen in. I'll pop our little cable in. Alright, so all we want to do is just make sure we're getting a picture. Because we don't have a battery on, what I normally do is just use a charger. Now they said they did give it to me. There it is. We have to be very careful that we don't knock something off the screen or onto the floor. Alright, power button. Now you might find the computer takes a while to boot than normal. That's because we've had the battery off, and as we can see, it's working perfectly. Excellent. Very nice. Oh great, it's got BitLocker. I hate BitLocker, but I won't go into that right now. Okay, let's unplug it. So we are good to now mount this correctly.
A few moments later.
So now we know the screen works. I'm going to prep it to mount it fully. Just gently move it off. We don't want to put any pressure on anything. And we're just going to put some new tape on. But there's not a lot holding screens in these days. It's just all tape. So we'll just measure up what we need. It just runs on this little... They actually put little markings so you can see where you need to put it. This tape is not the same as the one that comes from the manufacturer. It's not stretchy. So if it has to be replaced again, we'll have to do it the hard way, unfortunately. But hopefully he won't break it again. Alright, do the other side. Alright, take off the peel. Swing it over and drop it into place. Now just be careful to make sure you get it in the right place before you let it drop, because once it drops, it ain't coming out. And just gently run down the tape on each side to make sure it's sticking to it. Yep. Okay, screen is in position. So the bezel, we need to check it for tape, but you can see the actual tape that was on it is actually still in good condition. So I'm actually just going to reuse it. Sometimes though, yeah, you have to actually peel off this tape and redo it. I think it's in actual pretty good condition, so I'm not going to worry about it. And I usually just start from the top end get that on and just slowly click it all in. Oh, almost forgot. You gotta make sure you peel off the protective film. Oh, yeah. Should have done this first. And there we go. Fresh screen installed. And just go around and make sure everything is sitting down. Yep. Everything is sitting down. Awesome. So we are ready to put that back on, which means we'll go look at the cooling system for dust. So we'll get this surface dust off first. There's actually not a huge amount there, but this is going to be the one time I don't fully take the heatsink off, mainly because it is the Alienware design, and as you can see the fans all right, but the heatsink is actually on the other side of the motherboard. This is natural Alienware style design. For some reason, other laptops, the heatsink is mounted this side, but for some reason Dell, they put it on the other side, which makes for a very difficult maintenance of your heatsink, because you have to literally pull the whole motherboard off to get to it. I don't know why they choose to do this, but it's just the way they do it. So what I'm going to do is mainly just give the fans a blowout, and that's pretty much all I'm going to do. I'm not, because as I said, I just do it as a nice thing when I'm in here, but they're not actually paying for me to service all the other stuff. Just make sure the fan doesn't spin. Yeah, there's not a huge amount of dust in there, but at least we got rid of what was there. So that's all clean, and it's good to see 2 sticks of RAM, so we're getting the dual channel benefits. So just pop it over, and we'll just clean this side where the hinge blocks access to the gunk that gets in here. And we got a nice little piece of something stuck to there. Yuck. I don't know what that is. I don't want to find out.
Brother, what's that?
That's why I'm wearing my gloves. And a little bit of cleaner and a rag just to really get all of it off. Done.
Alrighty then.
And look at that, we've got a picture crud from his keyboard coming up. And there we have it. We have a Formula 1 car, which was his background. So as you can see, we have the lock screen, and it appears to be working, mouse is working. Now, let's see what specs this thing's got. We have 500 gig storage, 4 gig of graphics RAM, 16 gig RAM, well that's good. Ryzen 7 5800H with Radeon graphics. So it's got a RTX 3050 Ti laptop GPU in it. It's good for what he's doing, architecture and stuff like that, but I wouldn't call it a gaming machine. Probably it's more, they probably label this a creator's laptop, would be my thoughts. All right, let's see how it does with some 3D. Okay, well that's going to be it for the video. The laptop's all finished, it's all working. Laptop's got a little bit of a tune-up as a result, because that's just what I do. and we got to see the G15 5515 and how well it works if you're looking at something like this. Alright, I will see you in the next video, and thanks for tuning in to the end. And if you like this sort of video, give me a like and a subscribe, and put on that bell too if you want to make sure you don't miss anything. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.